All right, welcome back, everyone, to Play Live 2018. We are here with Trojan Dude. Gonna be playing some Seasons After Fall.
Yeah, thank you very much, Toko. Appreciate it. Thank you again for having me on, not just for the last commentary, but also to let me show off this this game. So, as you can see, it's this game's name is Seasons After Fall. This is a small indie puzzle platformer. Came out a couple years ago. It's made by a French studio, actually, a really tiny studio, and it's pretty. It's not a very insane game with the movement tech, but there's a lot of puzzle optimization, which is why I found this game to be really great casually, but also I had a lot of fun creating my own notes for puzzle optimization and whatnot. I hope you guys really enjoy this. And with that, I'll start a countdown here in a second. All right.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So first off, we're gonna skip the only skippable cutscene in this game at the start. There's a funny thing I actually ran into. You can actually soft lock if you skip on the same frame. You enter in, you can actually soft lock the game. So we're starting in this little seed intro right here. We're just gonna try and use this dash. Unfortunately, we don't have this dash ability for the rest of the game. It would be really great if we did, but we're trying to just kind of like go through these sections, and we're gonna be germinating a flower at the end. Too bad right there through that section. And so this is kind of like the overarching theme in this game. You're actually going to be the seed for the first part of it. And from there, we are going to be thrust out into this world known as the Magical Forest. And we're going to be greeted by our narrator for this. And this narrator is going to be our guide for the first part of the game. This game is broken into three parts for the any percent run. There isn't a 100% run with flowers. That one's a little more crazy because you have to do like these dream sequences and get all these little flower kind of quote-unquote checkpoint things, but we're not going to be getting any of those.
But luckily for you, I'm here to greet you today.
So we're just kind of waiting for the narrator to be finished with our dialogue. We're kind of boxed in right here.
Our second guest has arrived early and unexpected. Let's see who it is.
And we're here with a fox. That is, we are going to be controlling a fox for pretty much this whole game. And we're going to be able to run and jump and bark with the fox. And eventually, the whole point behind this game is to be able to control all 4 seasons and go through them willingly. But first, we have to kind of like gain the power of each of those seasons as we go through. So again, can't dash. We're all done with the dashing, but I'm going to go over here. And I'm going to show up a little funny glitch thing. It doesn't really go any faster, but if you spam bark after you start learning the fox over, it glitches out. Yeah. What was that, narrator? I can't hear you. What was that? That's okay. It's fine. I don't think it was important anyway. So, so we're going to be going through this first cutscene where we're going to be conjoined with this fox. And that's going to be... and then we're going to have control of it and be able to run around with that fox.
And hey, presto. Now you have a body, you'll be able to visit the Guardians of the Seasons. I have no choice. I must stay here.
So, this map is split up into 4 quadrants. There's 2 on the left and 2 on the right. And we're going to start by going to the top right, and we're going to be going towards the den of each of the 4 Guardians, and we're starting with the Winter Guardian, which is the bear. And she's talking about how we need to get her something, and we're going to find out what that is here very shortly. There's not much we can do at this point since we really have no powers. We haven't gotten anything yet, so we just can really run and jump and bark.
Run, jump.
But if you noticed right there how me getting into interaction with that flower, it kind of triggered something, and we're going to learn about how that triggers here in a little bit. But first, you get to enjoy this really great OST. All of the music in this game is completely orchestral quartet, and it's one of my favorites, if not my favorite aspect of this game, and why it's so enjoyable to run. And we're gonna be passing by this big tree. It's kind of like a checkpoint marker after we go to East Section and we're on our way back. But yeah, just like that, because we're in the summer, we have access to that flower, and we can actually interact with this root as well. And that's kind of how we're going to be able to interact with the environment, and that all changes based on what season you're in. So that was the creek area. We'll be going back through there in a little bit. Now we're in the ancestors area, and most areas have like 2 setups. So you can actually bark while you're like on ledges and stuff. And I'm showing off a little bit of how momentum works in this game. The turnaround mechanic is pretty slow with the fox. And so if you can actually change your direction in the air, that's going to save you a heck of a lot more time than having to just... Alright, there we go. And we're interacting with that jellyfish. That's going to allow us to continue on. And we're going to work with another one. We're going to be working with those jellyfish throughout the run. So it's good to note that it's kind of like an NPC almost in a way. And we're going to lure this one back over, and we're going to trigger that for when we come back later. That's really important. So another thing to note is that every time you trigger something and you go off screen, that item that you interacted with stays in that state until you actually go have it on screen in a different season. So that's gonna be really important, and that's part of the puzzle optimization I was talking about. And when we can interact with them before changing, that's gonna be really, really good. So now we're meeting our first guardian. This is the bear, and he's gonna provide us the winter fragments. And this fragment is going to be the same in every single of the 4 areas, and that'll, as we get these additional fragments, that'll give us access to different seasons. So unfortunately, the only skippable cutscene again was the first cutscene. We have to watch the rest of these, and unfortunately you can't save and quit during them. There's no such thing like that. It'll just go back to the start, so you might as well just watch the cutscene. So, I'm going to be able to run off screen here a little bit after the bear falls back asleep. And there's a couple points where we can do some off-screen movement. And as I run up to the top right here, I'm going to try and double bark, which is going to allow me to switch to seasons
with a fragment of winter.
While this cutscene's going on.
To communicate with you.
Yeah, there you go. I got it. So I kind of glitched it out a tiny bit.
Bark twice if it's a bit dead.
And we're going to be able to interact with this shooter. And this shooter's important because right now in the winter it allows us to, put snow on the ground, which will allow us to progress. And there was a snow shooter back at the start that we're going to use again. That will be very useful, however, later when we actually get access to this to spring. So again, this kind of section is supposed to be kind of a tutorial of how you're supposed to interact with the environments.
Really amazing.
Slowly but surely.
Quicker than I thought.
Once we get access to 2 seasons is where we really get some interesting setups for some puzzles. So here we're gonna have another snow shooter, and I'm gonna do this. And there we go. Okay, so now we're done getting the fragment. We're just gonna run back here, do one more snowshooter. So the important thing to note with all this, again with the off-screen movements, so just like that route, I can just jump back over, and that flower pad is still active. Once we get to the autumn area after this first portion, that's gonna matter a heck of a lot more. And each time you use that, you're saving yourself orders of like 4 to 5 seconds minimum. Because the seasons menu is a tiny bit slow. I mean, this game was built to be pretty chill overall from a casual perspective. So they made everything very graphically beautiful. But that means the menus are not like super duper fast. They're fairly responsive though. I will say that is one thing that I do like about the menu. It's fairly responsive.
The Guardians may appear wise, but basically, they're very old. So old that they tend to talk rubbish. But luckily, they're here to protect the fragments. They just have to learn how to let go of them.
So apparently she's trying to steal these fragments. That's what I got from that. I mean, this narrator is really like, I don't know, she has something out for these Guardians. Okay. And it's really useful that we can still bark while we're grabbing onto ledges. That saves quite a bit of time. If there was like lag, that would be really annoying. But the fact that we can actually do that is very important. So because we finished that area, for this portion, it's going to block us off for ever going back. There's really nothing else to progress in that area. So now we're going to go back to the center and commune with this fragment.
Move into the center. Go on. Don't be afraid.
We get to get some additional
I'm going to have to separate you from the fox.
Beautiful music and
the
some more nice
during the merge process.
Kind of graphics here.
I'll be as careful as I can, but
and we're going to have to go through this cutscene every single time we bring back a fragment as well.
I think it would be best for the fox to get out of the way. It's been so long since we've seen snow here.
And every single time, the narrator goes just back and forth of like, oh, this is so enjoyable about this season. It's like, this fox is just ruining everything. He's so impatient and whatnot. It's like, just relax. We're here to like to have chill puzzles, all right? We're here to have chill puzzles. Okay.
Listen, little seed. There are 4 seasons, 4
So
guardians.
now that we have actually access to one season completely now, this is where it's gonna start to get pretty interesting. We're gonna still, use the double bark technique to change between the seasons after we get this autumn fragment that's coming up. But once we're finished with that, we're gonna be able to actually have access to the seasons menu.
Straight ahead.
And there's not too much going on this screen. This screen though is one we'll kind of. I'll note something when we get back here, like way later in the run, because we do have something to do here. It's just not very apparent what it is. It just looks like one big icy lake. Not much there, but don't worry. In due time, we will come back here and we will have to do something.
The ritual of the seasons. That's what the Guardians call it.
This next area, though, Quagmire, is going to be very important for not just this section, but the section after when we come back for the second third of the game.
True. It means my life can be transformed. And yours too.
we are going to
I could leave the sanctuary at last, and you could...
we're gonna have to try and not get lost, because this area casually was
dreams become
definitely an
true.
area
You
that
must
even
have
when I
some
was like routing this
dreams.
out, you know, was definitely, it's easy to get lost and lose time on. Even though it quote unquote seems simple enough. So we're gonna see this little crab creature, and that's gonna be important, because we're gonna use that creature to break some stuff. And that's how it's gonna break. It kind of shows you the tutorial of how you're gonna be using the breaking technique.
Beware, little seed. You're about to enter the territory of the Guardian of the Fall. It can be unpredictable. Watch out it doesn't harm you and your fox.
And we're gonna get a little bit of a swoop in from the crane right here before we meet up with them. And the wind takes us away. Also, if you saw those icy puddles, that's going to be really important. For not only as we're leaving, but for later on when we're doing some other mechanics.
Ah, when you hear the whistling of the wind, the Guardian can't be far away. But be very careful.
I saw something visual going on. I don't know if it's going to be an issue with some of those puddles. I'll know here in a second. If the crabs interact weird, that'll be fine. We'll get a scope of what it will look like later. Okay, it might just be a visual bug. Okay, so here, it fills up with water right there. Whoops. Alright. Oh, yeah, okay. Alright, I'm gonna have to... Let me see if this caused a problem. I may have to restart the game, because I was practicing this earlier. Let me see if... Because sometimes the save file glitches out. Yeah, okay. Oh. Okay, that's one way to get around it. That'll work. Yeah. I was practicing it, and because of where I was... That's funny glitch. I don't get that very often.
It's okay. The Guardian of the Fall has finally gone back to sleep. You're safe now. Follow the fragment it gave
We're not supposed
It will
to
know the way
have
to
that
the
until
lake.
later, but it's not a big deal. We got around it. Oops. Alright, so we're gonna move this crab back here. Alright, cool. And there we have it. So we need to bring this little leaf down. And then we will be able to go up this way, which is much faster. Like 100% faster than going the other way. Going, like, I don't think that's supposed to be the intended way. I still have never really figured that out. And get some nice snowball action right there. And we are out of Quagmire. So this is one of those areas where we have to kind of slowly change between the geyser going off and whatnot. And we got to do that a couple times to get out of here. It's, again, these are all tutorials of how you're supposed to use the seasons to properly, like, affect the surrounding environments in a lot of different, very unique ways. You'll see that a little bit later. The geysers will actually work with a different season in a completely different way. Actually, with 2 seasons technically, but we never use it on one of the seasons in the way that it interacts. Alright, so now we're going to be heading back to the middle of the sanctuary again for one of those communal cutscenes. Again, we have to watch this blockade cutscene really quick. And I didn't note it before, but those pillars are actually representative of what we're going to be doing in the second third of the game. We don't know it yet because we have no backstory on it. Alright, and here we are. Okay.
Fall, the colors, the smells.
Also, you can tell
It is truly
that
my favorite season.
I wonder if this is her favorite season.
We could enjoy this moment if only your fox would keep still.
I wonder.
I don't think he likes us using.
Also, why is this narrator
He's the only
biased?
animal we have available.
Our narrator's supposed to be
We're only
unbiased.
halfway there, so he'll have to put up with us for a while
Right?
longer.
Well, there will be a
Maybe
reason
you
for
should try
that.
to
We'll find
reassure
out about that later. There's a reason for that. Okay.
But at least he likes you. That's something.
So,
I
I
promised
never
you.
understood specifically
Now you have absorbed 2
why
seasons.
this
You can invoke them at any
particular
time.
set of dialogue has
Each
a
season is
locked
unique
camera.
and transforms everything
There's
around
other
it.
ones in the run that make a lot more sense.
hesitate
This
to
one
use
doesn't
the
make
power
any
of the
sense.
seasons
This is
anyway,
probably
and
the
as many
only part of
times
the
as you want.
whole entire like dialogue, everything. It doesn't make any
little
sense.
Seed, which region would you like to explore now? You're spoilt for choice.
Oh, are we? Well,
But may
why
I
are
make
you
a
suggesting this one area for us to go
You
in?
could use the power of the seasons to reach the entrance to this cave. But it's just a suggestion. You can go anywhere you want.
I mean, we only have 1 of 2 left. And spoiler alert, you can't go the other way. So, yeah, we're going this way. So, this is the area called the Pit. And I will tell you, even for me, as much as I've run this game, sometimes this area can be the most disorienting thing on the planet. Because there are a lot of left and right corridors. And that's always fun when you're trying to navigate without a map. So, we're going to show off the seasons menu right here. And this is what we've all been waiting for. And we can just change the seasons just like that.
Well done, little seed. You have now mastered how to use the power of the seasons. What a stroke of luck. The third guardian is just beyond this cave. So, little seed.
So, as we gain
off you
access
go.
to more
No
seasons, we'll
time
have
to
more
waste.
into our menu to use. And this is a tutorial as well of how we're going to work with these little mushroom crabs. They're these red mushrooms that they create on these creation areas, and those are really important. That's going to allow us to continue along with everything. And this the kind of the main unique part of this area and what the game is trying to teach you here. And we're going to use our little crab buddies here. Just like that. Always want to go right. Always want to go right. So again, we're going to get one more crab, and we're going to fall down another area. We're going to be coming back this direction later for a different part, or on our way out, but we're not going to worry about it right now.
The gap down below is much wider than it looks. I'm not sure if your fox can jump far enough to get across.
So again, one thing important that we're going to do right here, we're going to change to winter, because if that mushroom crab runs off into the water, it will drown. So what we do there is we're going to actually allow it to run over, and then as it's kind of doing its whole creation thing, we can change back in the seasons, and we can kind of bring those two together. I'm going to get a running star on this because I didn't like my position right there.
From what I've seen, you're not easily put off. You're right. If you can't solve a problem with brute core force, use your head instead.
And you can't jump out of water either, so it is very important that we change into winter every single time we go across water.
That means you're close to the exit. If they allow you to pass, of course.
So we're going to use these fireflies for a little mini puzzle. There we go. Okay. We're going to chill right here. And we're going to be using those fireflies in a different area later. But this is kind of teaching you that whole puzzle aspect. So the game kind of like foreshadows some stuff for you early on in the game for what you'll be using later on, which is nice. So it's not like continuing to baby feed you stuff. You have to kind of like learn it on your own as you're casually going through this. So as I mentioned before about how we're gonna make stuff go off screen in a certain state and then use that to our advantage, we're gonna like do this with a couple geysers as we're going through. So that's one of them. And we're gonna do it again coming up here. And that's gonna help us stay in winter on the way back.
This river was full of salmon.
Because the less you can use the seasons menu, the faster you're gonna go.
And I think I know who's responsible.
Alright, so now with this, we have met our friend the eel. That's the next guardian. And we got ourselves the spring fragment. So right away, what does it do in spring? It rains. And so with that, we're going to be letting off some water. And we're going to fill some ponds back up, which is going to allow us to continue back the way we came. And again, because those geysers were already crystallized off screen, we are good to go on the way back. Oops. Whoops, the fragment is off screen. Huh, that fragment usually doesn't stay off screen. That's really weird. Bugged out a little bit right there for a second. Not a problem. So we're going to be using this spring fragment a bunch now. So we're going to grab this mushroom crab right here and bring it back over. We're going to change back to winter while this goes on. Okay. And the reason why we have to go back into winter is because we're taking this mushroom crab all the way back to the left. There we go, and that's how we exit right there. Well, the first part of the exit, I should say. Alright.
The third fragment.
And coming up here, we're going to have our first of the geyser puzzles.
The Guardian of Spring can't have put
Before
up
they
much
were
of this.
really simple, it's like, oh, get it to this height. But
should have
now
seen it
we're going to
before.
have to like
Always ready
zigzag
to
with
play
them.
and frolic among the
And this actually
waterfalls.
happens for quite
To get along really
a bit
well.
of the rest of the run.
But it's grown listless over the years, like the other Guardians. Very sad, but that's how it is. As powerful as they are, the Guardians have their weaknesses too.
And we get some nice visual breaking right there. Oh, oops. There we go. I like getting that little graphical glitch where it's like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be at this height. No, it's not. It's already been in spring, dude. You're a little bit too late on that. We're just gonna be going back and forth, just at will, until we have a couple more mushroom crabs left. And then one more autumn and winter combo for these mushroom crabs, and then we'll be on our way. Whoops. Get over there, buddy. Yeah, as you can see, that turnaround is pretty slow in general. Ah. And the cool thing too, I didn't mention this before, but the seasons menu will actually lift you off the ground, and that's kind of important because it'll allow you to like it doesn't require you to jump and then like keep your momentum, but you can hold onto some you can like clip through things actually with some moving platforms and stuff. So that makes it a little interesting. You can actually shave off a few seconds by using that to your advantage. There's not too many of them, but you can do that. Oh, oh, that was so close. I tried to get it so I could jump onto the top, so I have one less jump, but it's super tight window. But it was darn. That was darn. That was one of the closest I've ever done, like, on there without getting it. Alright, so we're bringing it back, and we're going to gain access to 3 seasons now. And all we have left is summer, which is what we had at the start.
I expected more from the spring. Why does it always rain in spring? And why do we always complain when it rains?
I don't know. I see.
Luckily, we only have to
I don't know what this narrator's talking about. I love rain. I always loved listening to the rainfall, like when I was younger.
Now you can manipulate 3 seasons. You should have no problem finding the
Either
last
way,
guardian.
now she's said we got 3 seasons. We can find Last Guardian, which is going to be now top left.
No, I can't believe
And
it.
it's
What's
going
the
to be
matter with him
our
now?
friend Cicada.
You think I'm frightening him? Don't worry, my noisy little fox. You'll soon be back where you came from.
And so now with that, the puzzles are starting to become a little more interesting. Not too much. There's not as much running and jumping in these newer areas.
As I was saying, the Guardian of Summer is hiding at the top of the mountain. Take the path up through the pines and try not to break a leg. I mean, paw. Be brave, little seed. You're nearly there.
Ah. It's a tight window for me
I
to
may
do
moan
that.
about the rain,
But,
as
you know what
can
we
see,
can do in
it's
spring with
really handy
rain?
when you want to grow a tree.
We can grow some trees. Heck yeah. Trees are fun, right? I don't know. I'd say that trees grow on you over the course of a run. It's just me, though. Alright, and we're gonna grow another tree. So, again, another new mechanic is those little, like, seedling guys. Those guys are gonna be really important.
Little seed.
So you can use those. They have a flying state and they have a ground state walking, and that's going to be really important for right here. So we're going to go back in autumn where there's actually, and we're going to bait him over there. we're gonna make another tree. Or we're gonna plant this for later. There we go. Alright, good. Just wanna make sure it's on screen. Create that. Alright. So now we're in foliage. And foliage means we're going to be entering what I like to call the cicada tree. And this is one of my favorite areas of the whole game. Mostly because of the second part when we come back here later.
We just have to be patient and be ready to disturb its offspring.
Go. And we're only going to need to be in autumn for this first part. We're going to come up and grab this mushroom crab. And what we have to do is get all of these little cicadas, aka what are the same model as fireflies, and we have to get them all back to the tree, the center of the tree, and that will reveal the cicada. So we got the one that was outside and the one that's in what I like to call basement 1. The first floor is where the cicada's at. And then we've got 2 more at the top that we need to go get. And with all of the good movement that we had, yeah, we're gonna hit this cycle. That cycle is very consistent because those are on a global cycle. So if you mess up your movement in any of the other places, then you will be missing that cycle on the way back up. And those cycles are offset because their vertical displacements are different. So you have to wait, it's 2 extra cycles, and those platforms are slow. Nice, and we got that good cycle. Ah, I wasn't patient. And we have to get the last bug that's up at the top left over here. And again, I'm turning in midair so that I don't have to do the turnaround animation later after this cutscene's done. And there we have it. The cicada is now revealed. Now we have returned all the cicadas back to the motherland. Yes, that. And now we are going to get our last fragment from good old cicada. And once we take this back in commune, we will be able to perform that amazing ritual of the season that the narrator has been talking about and is going to help us out with. Like, what a nice gal. I can't wait for this ritual of the seasons. Also, another reason summer in there is such a super sick color. I love it. Alright, nice. Whoops, that was a missed menu right there. But now, we are going to grow that tree. So it's important for us to get that earlier.
Fantastic! You have the last fragment. That means we can perform the ritual. Quickly, run! Run! I want to get started.
Alright, and there's our last of the beautiful frescoes on there for each of the seasons. One of, like, when I first played this game, I was unsure of how the Impressionist style would kind of work in a game like this. But, boy, does it work. Bing! And so now with summer, it wants to absorb water because it's so hot out. So that's how that interacts with spring, those little...
You and I are very alike.
I call them
Much
water
more similar than you'd
mushrooms.
think. Not just anyone can take part in the ritual of the seasons. I can't wait any longer. Hurry back.
All right. And yes, as you can see in chat right now, please donate. This goes to St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and it's a wonderful cause. And that's why we're all here for this marathon.
Everything is ready for the ritual. All we need now
All right,
is
is
you,
everyone
little
ready for
feet.
the ritual, guys? Who's excited? I'm excited. I'm ready for this ritual to happen. This narrator has been talking it up like it's this huge ordeal. It's got to be exciting. Something's gonna happen, right?
What's going on?
Bueller? Bueller?
Separate you.
Bueller?
This fox
Well, that's
has spent far
awkward.
too much time with you.
Well, this seems like a problem. I don't know about you, screen shaking seems like a problem. I think something's not going right.
We have no time to waste. It should work provided all the fragments are together.
We're gonna get some really pretty graphics, though. With all of the different fragments. They're trying to coalesce this ritual of seasons. And again, just amazing music, too. Uh-oh.
So, do you feel different? Has anything changed?
No.
I don't understand.
We're here.
Why am I still stuck
Hi.
in here?
Nothing major happened.
Maybe I
What
made
was
a
this ritual of
mistake
seasons
somewhere.
you were talking about, narrator?
It's because of the fox, I'm sure. Or maybe it's you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently now
I
it's
should've
our
guessed.
fault
You're in
that
cahoots
this
with the
ritual didn't work.
Guardians, aren't
Alright,
you?
even though we went over all this
One
trouble
day
to
they
like
want
get
to
all the
abandon
fragments,
me,
you know,
but
yada
when I
yada
decide
yada.
to leave,
Apparently
then
it's
I
our
won't.
fault.
Never mind. I'll try to perform another ritual again soon, and this time I'll make sure I'm in better company.
Wow, dang.
Well, little Sea,
Absolutely
or
shown
whoever
by
you
this
are,
narrator.
Go now. You were good for
Oh,
nothing,
but what happened?
wasting my time.
No. Oh no, the fox died. Oh no. Well, that's not good. Poor fox. But wait a second. Us, as the little seed that we are, we're gonna grab. We were able to get inside the fox's soul before, but we're gonna do that again. And this time, we're gonna figure out what the heck is happening with the ritual of the seasons for real. And now all of those blockades are gone, so now we can re-enter those other areas. So we're gonna go back up towards the creek area, the Winter Guardian. And I'm changing into winter right here because I want the snow shooter to be active as well. And the bear has been woken up out of its hibernation. So I can see Snowshoer's active again, that off-screen movement.
Like I've been asleep forever.
You've been asleep for a while, dude.
What's that smell? Who let an animal into our forest? A fox?
Fox? Yes.
Yes. I remember a fox. What's a fox doing here? It's dangerous for a creature like that.
They're not used to foreign creatures to be
here. And he'll struggle to find something to eat.
I'm sure that this bear will tell us something, right? So I'm changing back to summer, so we don't.
Hey, you, the one running and jumping
we don't
around
lose
the place.
Activation of a couple things
Yes,
coming up.
You. Who are you?
Yes, you, the one that looks like you're a ghost fox.
A seed? You? Don't make me laugh. What gave you that idea? You may look like one, but you aren't a fox either. Wait a moment. I do know a seed, yes.
Ooh.
But I don't sense her presence.
Oh man, plot twist.
There's
Wait,
something
so that
strange
narrator,
happening to this
wait,
forest.
was that narrator the actual
the
seed?
other
Was she
guardians fallen
confused
asleep?
about stuff?
You seem to know more than me, Fox. If you're as cunning as you look, could you please help me understand what's going on?
Very interesting. So now we have to go to these 4 pillars that are,
Maybe
one of
you
which is going to be
already
shown on
walked
your screen.
past one of these huge stones
And we
scattered
have to
throughout the
actually help with
If you
these
want
in
to
order
help
to
me,
track down the
forest. Go to
seed.
the foot of one of them.
Because now she's gone to hiding.
I'll then explain how you can make yourself useful.
So, on our way over there, we're not going to go straight into the cutscene. We're going to actually trigger a couple mushroom creations. And we are also going to get one of those vines off while the pillar cutscene's going on. It's tiny optimization, but it does save a tiny bit of time to do it this way instead of having to backtrack, because you just will do it on the way. Gotta get those switchback jumps going. this mushroom first. So we're gonna attach to this jellyfish, and what you have to do is actually bring these jellyfish back. Oops, can you do that? There we go. And they're going to be eaten by these little flowers. That's you're going to see in a second here. We're gonna jump on these mushrooms that we just created. And there you go.
Who did this?
So we can have this vine going
Stones of the ruins
and
have
playing
been
out
enchanted.
while we are
We have to break
sitting in the
spells
cutscene of
that are
him
holding the
telling us what
winds
to do.
captive. I'd like to do it myself, but I'm still too weak. This stone contains the coldest and densest of the four winds, the blizzard. The creepers have wound themselves around the stone, and it can't breathe. Fox, I beg you, find a way of releasing the stone.
And we're gonna create one more mushroom right here. Later, and then we're gonna go down and grab this jellyfish that we need. We're just gonna take this buddy down with us, because why not? Mushroom crab for everyone. So we want to go back up using that snow shooter. Yeah, that snow shooter from way back at the start of the game, still active right now. It's crazy. So now we're going to use those mushrooms that we created and continue forth. Gotta wait to grab this jellyfish. The animation's kind of long. And we just got a couple more to do. And then we'll be able to trigger the last one. Alright. And then from here, and there we are. There's all of them away. And there we go. And we are now. We have now saved one of the pillars. So we're gonna be doing the same style of thing here.
Let yourself be carried away, Fox.
For all 4 areas, and we are gonna be entering what I like to call the seed maze. There's 4 of them as well at the end of saving each of the pillars, and we're gonna have to steal these quote-unquote treasures that you're gonna see here in the middle. Those things, those purple orbs. And those are actually her fears.
Who's there? Hey, how did you get in here? My treasure! Look what you've done! You've broken one of my treasures! You can't come in here! Get out!
And she does not want us to be here at all, in any of the slightest.
Have you found the seed? I can't find her anywhere, but I'm starting to sense her presence.
Yeah, so every time that we grab those, as you can kind of tell, is that we're going to be able to get more and more in contact with the seed.
In the very heart of the sanctuary. 3 other stones of the winds.
And that's really important
I desperately
for how
need
we
your help, Fox.
continue onward.
While you're setting the stones free, I'll concentrate and try to locate the seed.
Okay, so we are going to be heading back to the pit and all the way over to where we met the eel before. And we are going to take this fast travel port that is right here, because this will skip quite a bit of how we originally went through here. We don't have to go loop down all the way to the left and yada 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 and stuff like that. We can kind of skip all over that. So beating the first part of the game gave us access to all of these ports. There was one in the previous one, but it doesn't really help you and it just wastes time. So there's no reason to get it. Okay. So now we're going to head back down. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to grab that ledge. And trust me, if you jump early on that particular jump right there, it is very unfortunate. I'll let you know that. Oops. Sometimes those fireflies are a bit finicky. Go. And we're not going to be stagnant in this cutscene again. I can actually jump over this rock as it falls down. Saves more time than the first original time we went through it. Okay. So again, we're going to get another fast travel port. And go. And this is where we can get to the fast travel, and this is the gimmick of what we're going to be doing here shortly to save the pillar in this area. Don't forget that. That's for the exit that we're never going to have to grab. And here it is. And this one has an illusion of the reflection from the water. And so it's actually, the water level's lower than what it should be. So we have to use these water mushrooms to absorb and let go of water so that it actually reflects properly. And that's the little gimmick of this puzzle in particular.
Breaking the illusion.
So we're going to use Summer to absorb that water that we need. So now we're going to change back into spring, and that's going to allow us to trigger the creation of waterfalls from these types of pods. And this is a puzzle in and of itself. Oh, that's too early. Whoops. I was not patient right there. Oopsie daisy. Go. Thankfully, it's pretty quick to come back right there. Oh boy, got a little bit ahead of myself. Got a little too hyphy right there. So that's going to give us the fast travel port to the top of that final mushroom. I meant to jump there. Don't worry about it. And we're going to go back into spring for this last one. This right here. Okay. And now we're gonna release, so we're gonna stay in spring until we have to go back across for the last one. And I could stay in spring for right now, but I'm going to change to winter because I'm going to be going back to the left, and it will allow me to actually be on the ground, and I won't have to change and lose time after the cutscene. Because now we're going to another seed maze, and we're going to get that next treasure.
Fox.
You. It was you who destroyed one of my treasures. I saw you. Why did you do it? I'm warning you. I'm keeping a close watch on the three others. Don't you dare go near them. That's a funny way of thanking me. If I hadn't confused you with a seed, you'd never have explored the outside world. It's thanks to me you can use the power of the seasons.
She really doesn't want us to take those little purple
how
orbs.
or why you assume this, guys, but it's pathetic. You should never have trusted this fox. Sooner or later, he would have betrayed and abandoned you.
Are you sure about that, narrator? I'm unsure about that. I'm pretty sure we were able to coalesce commune so much with each other's souls that I became a ghost. I don't know.
You'd better leave before
I have to discredit what you're saying right now, to be
You
fair.
saw what I did to the forest. So what do you think I could do to you? Go now. I won't tell you again. One more step, and you'll regret it. Don't say I didn't warn you! Stay away! No!
Okay, so we've got half of the treasures collected.
It's mine!
Seed, is it really you I can hear?
So see, I'm going to trot over to the left right now, and because we're in winter, we're going to actually be able to walk on the ice. And we're going to do one of my like little tiny like favorite things to do.
Without my
So
permission?
we're going to wait for it. Wait for
Answer
it.
me, Seed.
I'm not
Wait
talking
for
to you
it.
anymore. Just go back and snore in your cave.
Ice slide!
Just leave me alone.
Woo! Alright. Cool.
What's the matter with her? She doesn't sound like her normal self. Her voice is strange. You
Really?
must
I would have
return
never
to where
guessed
she's hiding.
that her voice sounds strange. She's like yelling at us. Okay. So now we're getting these cutscenes, and this is the third part of the game that we have to complete for any percent. We're not going to do it quite yet because we're going to get all of the pillars done first. It doesn't really matter which order you go in because you're going to have to like do them anyway.
I don't know how you did it, Fox, but you've managed to reveal the entrance to our sacred altars. The guardians of the seasons draw their power from these altars. The appearance of the altars can mean one thing only. The sanctuary is preparing a new ritual of the seasons. How? A ritual of the seasons?
And now we're getting
while
into
I
what was
slumber?
happening before.
With no seed or guardians? That's impossible.
So essentially we're learning that
I think
you
I'm
need the
beginning
guardians to
understand.
actually be able to think for themselves
Listen,
for Ritual of
Fox,
the Seasons
I
to
can't
work.
explain everything now.
The Sea did not know
You've seen
that,
what happened to our forest.
and that is
We
why
desperately need
everything
your help.
went kaput from before. So if you're here from earlier and you saw that little visual glitch that didn't affect my character, but it affected the crabs, this is where we're going to be going into that now. We're still not going to do anything in the puddle area, but we're going to be going back to Quagmire, and we're going to be kind of teleporting above and below ground to do this. And I will tell you that I'd say after the pit in general, this is the next place where I think from a casual perspective you can get very lost, like insanely lost. So we're gonna use this to ride it back up. Oh, well, we're... Well, we'll do it back. We had to do this anyway. It's just a bit slower to have to go the bottom route. That's okay. Only loses probably about 10 seconds. Alright, and here we are.
This stone
It's underground.
contains the noisiest
It's kind of
and most
somebody
violent
like
of
some
the
titan
forms.
came by and probably
This
took its
stone.
hammer and like was whack-a-mole with
Only the
it.
top of the stone is visible. The rest
can barely see it
buried
anymore.
underground.
So how are we gonna get
It's not in
underground?
its normal state. Go and investigate, Fox, and find out what's holding the stone.
Okay. So it's gonna look weird, but this is essentially what you would do in general. So that over there, we're gonna take this crab with us. Yes, we gotta stay in autumn for this. Oh. Wait, I don't need it. No, that's right. I don't need to do that part. We just need that to get underground. Here, grab this crab. There we go, I got it to run. Sometimes that guy doesn't like to run the whole way. Yeah. There we go. Oops. Come on. Come on, be a bro. The other wins. So we're kind of doing this slightly out of order for what the game wants you to do. It wants you to have teleported like another time, but we're not doing that. We're doing this way instead. Then we're gonna take this little leaf. Not gonna grab the portal. So we have to bring this guy back out because of the little thing earlier. I normally, but I'm gonna have to lure this guy back in and out. There we go. Not too much of a time loss. Oh, didn't go far enough left. Okay. You have to run over there so that it triggers, and then you gotta exit. Go back inside. There we go. It should trigger. There you go. Oh, I gotta do it again. Ah. Man, my file was more glitched out than I thought it was. Oh well. Alright, now it should work. Thinking. I hope my game is not bug out. That would really be bad. Just run away from it a little bit. Just let it be okay. There was a backup to this. I have had this happen one other time, and I think had to go over to the portal that I had opened from before. I think. Yeah, I think it's this one. Game, why you do this to me? We're gonna wrap around all the way again and see if this fixes it. If it doesn't, I may have to just completely restart my game, unfortunately. Oh, I know why, because I didn't trigger the portal. That's why the game's having a problem. I didn't trigger that. I've forgotten all my confusion. You need to actually have that cutscene play. That's what it was. Alright, sorry about that, everyone. Now it should be good. No. Alright, hold on. Let me restart my game. See if that'll fix it. Sorry about that. Normally it doesn't happen. I've only had this happen to me one other time. See if this kind of fixes it. Oh no, that's not good. It's still not fixing itself. I may have to screen transition. I've had a soft like this happen before, and I had a screen transition. Yep. Alright. Let's go back and screen transition, and that will probably fix itself. Okay. Alright, now let's go back. Let's let screen transition play for a bit, and we'll go back. Okay. Okay. Alright. Here goes nothing. Oh, I went too far. Oh, did it completely reset itself? Oh, gosh. Oh, no, there we go. Okay. Oh, dear, this is not good. I've not run into it soft locking like this. Or... Oh, jeez. There was another one up top that I could grab. Alright. Alright, let's try reloading it again, see if that fixes it. Start game. Something up here, right? Yeah. Okay, I'm just making sure it's like loaded right there. Let me see. Alright, I'm gonna bring a crab over. See if that might fix it. So this, oh, I think I know why that happens. Because I triggered 2 cutscenes, wasn't it? Okay, let's, jeez. I wonder... Okay, what I can do is I can go and just do the summer part right now and then come back here. But I still don't know if that's gonna work. But I don't know what else I can do, honestly. I'm really sorry, guys. I have not experienced a soft lock to this degree before. Okay, so anyway, in the meantime, we're going to head back out of here. We're gonna just do the pillars out of order. So normally I would just have that autumn pillar and that would be my third one, but I'm gonna come back for it and see if that fixes it. If I do another set of cutscenes, it'll fix itself, but I'm starting to think that's pretty doubtful. I think the game only has 2 cutscenes to load in like that, and I think I botched it a bit. I think I need to exit first, and then yeah. But yeah, so anyway, we're gonna head back up on the path to the summer summer pillar, excuse me. And the way that this is going to work, so before when we got all those cicadas and stuff, we're going to be using them again. But for something slightly different. Oops, we're going to be using them to actually make some patterns. So if you saw from that firefly puzzle from before, first we're going to get a fast travel port. This will save a lot of time. We are going to be using them in a more complicated sense, essentially. So not just putting fireflies in certain places, but we're going to have to be in certain seasons in order to get correct combinations. Okay. And key thing, run off the sledge. If you jump, that is actually slower. As opposed to a lot of other things in this game where you have to jump for stuff. So, we're going to follow the bugs down to the first basement. And here we go. So they're going to tell us, hey, come follow us. Or, hey, listen. And while we're doing this, there's going to be some cool kind of off-screen movement that I'll do at a couple spots. But mainly, the one coming up here is going to be really cool. Where I'm going to stack the portal cutscene, portal creation cutscene with the pillar cutscene.
I've seen these symbols somewhere before. I can hear the cicadas scratching on a branch lower down. Find them and watch them closely. I know how to reproduce these marks.
Okay. Again to autumn because we're going to need that for when we go downstairs. So now we're in basement 2. And this is where we're going to do the first combo. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Undo that one because that was incorrect. Okay. So, right here. There we go. And that's the first combo right there. And if you can hear the portal. Oh. Did I? I didn't get it. I think I overran it. Ah, darn. Ah, shoot. I overran it just slightly. I could actually get rid of that one. Saves a few seconds. Go. So now we're gonna head back up. Alright, so now we are going to use this room. That was too... Sorry. It's better than me messing up something super horribly. There we go. Let's go to the lower left one again. Okay. So that's combo number 2. And there's a cutscene like this every single time. I was just a tiny bit too far off to the left when I was falling down right there. So we're going to try and get up as high as we possibly can. There should be, I think, this next platform. Ah, yeah, this next platform. Okay. Because we're going to start in the top right and then head off screen after we're done with it. That's what I mean. When you mess up your general movement, it is very punishing. Because a lot of platforms are slow. Alright. So we're actually going to be doing the third seed maze here, whereas normally don't do that. Oh, hello. Hi, that's a platform. Alright.
sent us to sleep. Why did she do that?
Okay. So, as we go through, the mazes get longer and longer.
You again.
So this one is going to be quite a bit longer than the other
You
ones.
and that stupid bear. You want to subject me to your silly ritual? Never.
Because it's like she's trying to tighten up
You
her
don't
defenses.
scare me. You can tell that to the Guardians. No, I won't let you. You can't tell me what to do and what to become.
Okay.
Do you realize what the Guardians will do to you when you're no longer useful to them? They'll forget you and
see,
make
I
you
got you
promises
guys.
they'll never
Leap
keep.
of faith.
Those liars. They want you to think they're wise, but they're crazy. They say they're your friends, but want one thing only, for you to disappear. They'll do the same to you as they wanted to do to me.
And this is good music too. Like, this is quite enjoyable music as you're running around this like person's hate paradise, essentially.
Are you listening? It's not too late
No.
to do the right thing.
No, I'm sorry, I'm not.
Stop! Stop! You're actually no better than them.
Alright.
Listen to me, Seed.
So we're gonna
You
go back to the
misunderstand
left.
our intentions.
I just want you to
I'm
leave
debating
us alone.
doing the other
Me
altars
and my
first
treasures.
and then just kind of going back, but
Open
we'll
your
see.
eyes, Seed. These aren't treasures you see around you. These are your fears.
Okay, I've heard that 1,000 times before. Save your lectures for someone else.
Okay, so in order to kind of show off, I want to show off some of the altars first. So I want to just do 2 of the altars that are on the right hand side first, then we'll deal with the whole stuff on the left hand side.
She won't listen to me. I'm sorry to ask you to do this, Fox, but you must persuade the Seed to return to the sanctuary.
Because as much as
If you
I would
can
like to
dispel
figure
our
out how
last
that soft lock actually
maybe she'll come to
happened
her
like that,
senses.
I would like to continue to show you guys the end of this game, because I think that, you know, the second and third parts are the cool parts of the game. So we're going to go to the Winter Altar first. So now we're going to go over to the little barrier right here, and we're going to trigger it so we can get access to this portal. Yeah, these late game puzzles really make you think. They, like, the first part of the game can be pretty slow, but, like, the rest of it, like, really, really, makes you think about what the heck you're doing. this is very nice soothing music when you're trying to find altar fragments. There is our first altar. You can see it right there. So now all we have to do is grab the fast travel of how we're going to get out of here, because this area of this kind of like world beyond only gives us the first 2 fragments. So we need to go and actually and there you go. So now this is our exit out, and we're gonna be using that both times. So then we're gonna have a whole nother puzzle on how to how to get to the other 2 fragments. All right.
Do we have a quick moment for a donation?
Yes, we do.
Awesome. I have a $10 donation from Kiriru that says, "Good luck to all my friends who are running their games and have fun during this event. For the kids' heart and share the love." So thank you very much for sharing that love with us. Much appreciated.
Indeed. Alright, so I just went across on that route over there to get a fast travel port that's going to get us access to another couple ones. So I think you saw that flower earlier when we were back in the bear cutscene while we were chilling there. So that comes into play like right here. And that's how like all the different environmental things you do, they eventually come around and are very, very useful in some way or another. So now we're going to head back and go grab those other 2 fragments that are beyond the world. And now we're going to start using some winter stuff on the rest of this. Instantly over to the right with that snow shooter. There's a couple snow shooters we're going to be using in this section. That other one on the right we'll be getting the 4th fragment from. We're going to grab that portal. We're going to need that here in a little bit. Okay, so that's our 3rd fragment, and we're gonna watch it go all the way over there. And we're gonna grab this portal, we're gonna go through the cloud, and grab this air vent to make the cloud go away. And we're gonna line up right here so that we can grab the 4th fragment on the way down so we don't have to jump again. And boom. And there we go, all 4 fragments. So we're gonna go and commune with it just like we were doing with the pillars from before. So we need to just get the shooter going. So we can get back up and around. Because, again, cloud, that's kind of important. It's a bit of a problem. Alright, well, now that we got this one, these altars don't give portals back, so we are going to have to run back the normal way. But the next one is going to be a fun one.
Four guardians.
Because when I started learning this game, and I got to this part of the run, I was like, you know what? This run needs blind movement, because who doesn't love blind movement? There's essentially an area while you're in the pit that you can go to.
This task alone.
And it's... the quirk behind it is you use these little vision crystals that will allow you to kind of like see in an area around you. Well, those vision I forgot you're not supposed to jump there. Whoops. Oh, that's a problem. Well, alright, well, we're running back around again. Whoops. That's me paying more attention to what I'm explaining than where I'm actually going. Oops. Thankfully, it doesn't take too long to... We're just gonna jump down. So we don't do that. Oh. That was still triggered. Alright. This game is, it's giving me a run for its money right now. It's definitely, the game is the final boss. If you weren't aware. So we're gonna change back to winter because the snow shooter's already in the winter state. And we are going to get on out of here. No, that soft locked is the true boss. that soft locked is the true boss of this run. And I still don't know if that's gonna go away after I do all this. Who knows? Tune in next time on this episode of Seasons After Fall Speedruns. Oops. Okay. So, yep. Now we're back in the pit. It's gonna be the pit of blindness soon. We're still not going to grab that. So now we're going to go left. All right. All right. I hope you guys are all hyped for some blind movement, because I sure am. My notes are updated. I did some cleanup on it, so now I can actually follow my notes. So, I'm going to be going based on how many crystals I run by. Oh, whoa! I was like off the edge of the mushroom right there. That was interesting. Oops. There it is. Ah, I couldn't find it. There we go. Ah. Can't wait that long to jump. Alright. And there we go. There's the first fragment. We got 3 more of those to go. And I'm going to be keeping with my notes for this. So I'm gonna grab vision because this particular one gives me a setup for what I do. Alright. Let's see if I can get this first try. Yes! Got it first try. Awesome. Alright. It's not too bad because I can just run back around, but it's nice to get it first try. So those are really the 2 hard ones that we got so far. All right. There's 3 fragments. We just have to zigzag back up to the right, and then we will have all of them. Oops, too late on that jump. Alright, let's see if I can get this first try too. Yep! Woo! Alright, I was super scared that I was gonna keep missing that one over and over again, so. Alright, now we got all the fragments in the dark. Okay, so that's 2 of the altars down. Now we've got the, now we gotta figure out what the heck's gonna go on with,
what a seed is, Fox?
Ah, shoot. I was a bit early
A
on
seed
that jump.
is an extremely rare thing in the life of
But
a
now we get to
forest.
figure out, if
It's a
softlocked is
kind of
softlock.
miracle that we, the guardians of the seasons, must handle with care. Once
We've
her
got that fast
education is
travel port.
complete, a seed's destiny is to leave the sanctuary and find a place to germinate. Provided she's
Oh,
ready.
that's right. No. That's right. That one doesn't do anything. It's the other one. The fast travel ports are supposed to be over here. There we go. It's this one. The other one was completely not necessary, but it's fine. Okay. We'll be out of the pit here very, very shortly. Now let's pray to God that by playing other cutscenes, I got rid of the soft lock. Because otherwise, I am probably not going to be able to finish the game. And that's going to be a bummer. Because the Autumn Altar one, by showing you a puddle, was going to be really cool. And I really want to actually finish the game. Alright. Okay. Alright, Moment of Truth is going to be coming up here in about 45 seconds. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Ah, rip. I went too far. Okay. All right, here we go. Or let's go on to the, let's go on the right-hand one. I was thinking about going to the left-hand one, but I'm just going to do this one. Alright, let's go. Please play cutscene. Ah. Well, that's really unfortunate. Let's see what happens if I go this way. But you know what? Actually, let me try something. I'm gonna try something out and see if this works. This might be dumb enough to work. Might be crazy enough to work. This way. Let's open up the dream area and see if that'll fix it. I doubt it will, but it's worth a shot. Maybe triggering a break might fix it. Like a wall break. guys get to see what you get to do in 100%, which we're not going to do right now. But that's dream sequence stuff right there. So let's see if I go back over to the right. See if it'll fix itself. No. No, I think there's no way to get around it. I think it's just completely broken. That's a shame. Okay, well, I guess in this case, I will kind of be forced to, I'll be forced to, just do the summer one, and I guess I'll just have to call it quits. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you guys the end of the game. Thoroughly sorry about that. I've literally not experienced that before, and so I've come up with a couple things to do on the fly, and none of them have worked. All right. Okay, so we're gonna be heading back up towards the summer area, and we'll be heading back to the cicada tree. And so, we're gonna be going through the cicada tree up to Summit. So, as you saw from the other areas, there's only 2 areas per kind of quadrant. The summer area is different. There's actually 3. And we're gonna be going to the Summit area at the end, where you saw those trees kind of lift off the ground earlier. And what we're gonna have to do is change between the seasons, and it'll trigger the trees to go in certain patterns. Let's see if I can get a swag jump. Yeah, I got it. Awesome. So this is why we get that fast travel port earlier. It doesn't save as much time on that first split, but it saves a lot more time here because it's already there. So we're just going to do a hop, skip, and a jump right here, and we are going to be off to Summit. Okay. Oops, that's not spring. There we go. So... we're going to be going in between these trees, and the marks on them will tell you what you need to use to trigger their location. Or their path, I should say, not location. So mostly right now it's just these trees. But now we're gonna be adding one of those saplings in there into the mix. Take this tree over there. I guess we're not. We're not taking that tree over there. Just letting you know. It's a false alarm. We're gonna go this time though. This time we're gonna go. All right. There we go. I always forget. You need a tree after. All right. So now we've got that extra tree. I'm gonna jump across. And then all right, so, oops, I don't want to go down on the icy water. So now from here, we're going to get this fast travel portal, and this is going to take us to the top floor of the cicada tree. And that's where we're going to get our... There's only 2 fragments on this one. Pretty much the rest of this is what's supposed to be the puzzle. And the rest, and then the other ones are super easy to get. They're just kind of like, you just jump for them. And we gotta wait for the tree one more time so we can get over to the right branch. There we go. And the fast travel portal will be right here. So there's first fragment, the other fragment's just across the way. And once I get this, we're going to have to call it quits. There's nothing else that I can possibly do with the way that this game's soft-locked. So, unfortunately, you guys will not be able to see the end of it. Okay. And as soon as I commune with this altar, I will be done.
Sounds good. Hey, don't be disappointed. I mean, these things happen during marathons.
Yeah,
you just never know.
Exactly. You know, I've never seen it soft lock like that. I've got another soft lock. There's actually a soft lock in a world record, but it's a completely different one, which got fixed by a screen transition. So I was hoping that a screen transition or other cutscenes would fix it, but
The
it's
sanctuary
not the
is where
case.
the Guardians assemble to perform the
And hey, you discovered it, so there you go.
Yeah, hey, I discovered it for for what it's worth.
evolution.
So now we have a name for it, the Trojan lock.
Yeah, well, so in Ori and the Blind Forest, I have one called the Trojan log, which is like
Maybe she thought she was going to disappear.
kind of like supposed to be a joke thing for that. Maybe I'll call it the Trojan
But we only
pillar
wanted
because
to
it's the
enable
There
pillar
you
that's
go.
soft block. Yeah, the Trojan pillar. Yeah. Well, but yeah, so that's Season After Fall, guys. I'm sorry I couldn't show you the last altar area. You got a sense of everything except for that one. And I hope you guys enjoyed. It's a really chill puzzle platformer. I really love it for the OST, the graphical beauty, and actually the puzzles in the second and third part of the games are pretty complex. So they were really fun to optimize when I was going through. Yeah. And yeah, thanks for having me. I really this is great, going for a great cause as well, and I hope you guys continue to have success over the course of the weekend.
Oh, well, thank you very much. And hey, I'm totally glad I was able to select this game because I knew looking at Ori in this game, like it had to be together, and sure enough, it worked out that way, even with the commentary as well. So there you go. I mean, it worked out so perfectly. But we're gonna go ahead and take a quick intermission here, and then we're gonna go. All right, so we're going to take a quick intermission here, and we're going to be going to our next game, which is going to be All Night Nippon Super Mario Brothers with Supersonic. So stay tuned for that.